Hey friends, welcome back to the Burn Stress Lose Weight podcast. I'm back with another episode that I would label as heavily strategic. I've had this conversation probably every summer since I became a stress and weight loss coach back in 2020 with friends, with family, definitely with clients. And the conversation would center around how do you go through your summer breaks and your vacations and your holidays and travel and trips without completely undoing your wins on the scale, without completely forgetting your dream goals that you have for your body. And I totally get this question, which is why I am pulling out today's podcast episode from the archives. This is one of my best podcast episodes on how to achieve your weight loss goals, even when it is summer break. Now, if you're a busy professional woman, if you're a working mom, summer is really special. I know it is for many of you. Even right now, as I'm sitting out here in my backyard recording this intro, I'm about to unplug for the long weekend with my family and just be completely offline and enjoy the time that I really want to enjoy with my family. And it is holidays like July 4th weekend here in the US or through summer vacations and summer breaks that we really attach a lot of our relaxation and joy to food and alcohol because it is very much enmeshed in social culture. So if that's you, I totally understand. And at the same time, I think a lot of us know that we don't want to sabotage the goals and the results that you have been working so hard for over the last few weeks and the last few months. So if you have ever felt like you don't want one holiday weekend or you don't want this summer break to completely undo your wins or you want to make headway over the summer, then this podcast episode is going to be just for you. And if what we are talking about in this podcast episode, and again, this is a very heavily strategic podcast episode on how to walk through summer breaks, like you can be 10 pounds down by the end of the summer simply with what we are talking about, which is science-informed strategy. I call this magic action structure, building it into the structure of your life. Yes, even on trips, on vacations, on holidays, in your back pocket. You cannot just lose the weight you want, be 10 pounds down by the end of the summer, but you can do so while feeling better. That's my mission. My mission for busy professional women is not to lose weight and hit your body goal with deprivation and FOMO and saying no to all of the fun. It's actually the opposite. It is learning how to lean into real fun, real pleasure, really feeling amazing in connecting and having fun without undoing your wins, without sabotaging your dream goals. To me, these are how we create win-win-wins inside the Unstoppable group. And if what we're talking about today is resonating with you, we are starting the next cohort of the group this week. It is not too late to grab your spot. If you are interested, I'm opening up a couple of times this week specifically to talk with you. If you are at all wanting to take this work that you learn on the podcast and take it from listening in your ears to real life execution and implementation, I'd love to talk with you to see if it's a good fit. Head over to www.burnstressloseweight.com/group. You can get all of the details. And there's a button there that will take you to my consult calendar where we can find a time to talk this week and get you into the group because seriously, the work that we are doing together, you can do it over the summer, walking into the new year, literally feeling better down on the scale with skills that will make you feel not just good inside out, but skills that, in my experience, can really touch every corner of your life. So without further ado, let's get into today's podcast episode. You can be 10 pounds down by the end of the summer simply with taking these strategies and folding it into your life. Let's get into it. I have recorded quite a few episodes around how to lose weight or maintain your weight loss results through vacations and holidays and weekends, but I wanted to touch on one specific concept, a thought and a mindset that I noticed coming up again and again in my personal conversations with real life friends. This is something I have seen not just in my personal journey in how I lost a little over 60 pounds. It is something that I see coming up for my friends, my peers, my colleagues, and also with so many of you. It is a topic that we coach on all the time in the Unstoppable group. And I know that it's sometimes a barrier for a lot of us that aren't really familiar with having success on the scale, despite it being summer. So the reason that I'm even recording this podcast episode, let me tell you what inspired this conversation. I was talking with one of my best friends, and she was sharing how she has a lot of travel coming up this summer. She purposely really planned a lot of her work life around the summer. She was sharing that they're finally old enough where they can travel and it's actually fun to travel with them. They actually can take in the sights, they can really explore and like actually have memories around the exploration. So her and her husband really thought about this summer as that first summer where they're going to do a lot of travel. They're going to go to multiple places internationally and locally. And she also was talking about her body and her body goals and her weight loss goals. She said to me, she was like, that's what my friends call me. The idea of trying to lose weight during this summer when I just want to have fun with my kids literally stresses me out. It's filling me with dread. And so no surprise, she's like, let's just wrap that one up. Let's just close the box on that idea and let's just figure this out later. I want to just enjoy this time with my family, connect with my kids. I want to try all the cuisines. I want to try all the food. I don't want to filter myself. I don't want to think so much about it. I just want to have fun this summer and then I will get to my weight loss goal once the fall rolls around. If you feel like I'm like talking to you, if this feels very familiar, then again, it's only because you're not alone in this. A lot of professional women have very similar ideas when it comes to weight and weight loss and summer vacation or any real holiday or trip. The reality is the reason I kind of want to backtrack. I want to really kind of help unpack why it is that we have this idea that I just want to enjoy my summer. I want to be present with my kids. I don't want to filter any food decisions. I just want to have fun and not even think about weight loss. And because we have that mindset, we don't take action right now. We believe that weight loss must be hard, that it must be full of deprivation and restriction, that we have to say no all the time, and ultimately that our fun is on the line, right? That our fun or rest or relaxation is on the line. So no wonder the summer vacation that maybe you've really been looking forward to feels like the perfect opportunity to delay your body goals and your weight loss goals. The trouble with this is, number one, you don't make headway, obviously, right? If you're like, you know what, I'm just going to let the summer pass, I'm going to let the summer go. I'm just going to think about this later. I want to just have fun with my family. Number one, you don't start taking action right now, which means you don't learn the skills of becoming a fat burner, how to burn stress, how to drop drama, how to just lose weight and have fun at the same time, which we're going to get into in this episode. You don't learn those skills. Months go by and you just don't learn skills that could actually help you move the needle on the scale while having fun. That's number one. The second one that I'm finding is it's not just the first one that you don't lose weight over the summer. When you come into your vacations, your summer trips with the mindset of, I don't want any of my fun to be restricted. I don't want to think twice about any of my decisions. You will most likely undo weight loss successes from your year. You will absolutely gain weight because you're coming into your summer vacation with the mindset of, I just want to have a free for all. I just want to do whatever I want. I just want to not think about my body or my weight loss goals. Most likely, I want to say that I can't say 100%, but I want to say most of you that come into your vacations or holidays with that mindset, you will most likely be gaining weight. And that's a real problem because what happens, and I'm only sharing this because this has happened with me, I've seen it come up with my clients. When you do that again and again, your brain starts to learn the wrong message, the wrong lesson. Your brain starts to learn, for me to have fun, it means I have to gain weight. It's very all or nothing. It really kind of brings out this idea that if I'm trying to lose weight this summer, that means my fun is on the line. This could not be farther from the truth. The reason that I wanted to record an episode on this topic is because I think it is this myth that we have in our mind that weight loss must be hard, it must be stressful, it must take so much effort, I'm not going to have the fun that I want to have, the connection with my family that I want to have, that is perpetually keeping us waiting on our body goals. The reality is, and I shared this, I can't even remember when and where I shared this, but this is an important statistic. Summer and summer vacations are 25% of our year. If you think about June, July, and August, even if you're not traveling for all of June, July, August, we get into the summer mindset, which is, as the school year is ending, if your kids are older, maybe like the college year is ending. Starting in May, our brains get into the summer mindset. We are starting to think about more beach trips, more holidays, more weekend barbecues, more times just hanging out by the pool, more trips and travel, right? This is just across the board. 25% of your year is going to be in the summer mindset. So if we don't actually understand and learn the skill of weight loss during the summer, during this huge chunk of the year, it is no surprise to me, and I'm guessing it's not going to be a surprise to you, that you're not going to be able to maintain weight loss results. Not only is our summer vacation 25% of the year, weekends are 42% of the year. So again, the mindset that we have coming into our summer vacations, our summers like June, July, August, is very similar to the mindset that I see a lot of high achieving professional women coming into their weekends with, right? If you counted Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's 42% of the year. So if you're someone that is able to lose weight when you have a very disciplined routine, your work routine is very scheduled, you know what your office hours are like, or maybe if you're a physician, you go to the hospital, you know your call schedule. When you have a routine and you're able to lose weight with that routine, but then you end up undoing your weight loss wins because of weekends and summers and holidays, it is because there is a missing skill set that I just know you need to have in your back pocket. And the reason that I want to emphasize this right now is because the more reps you do during your non-routine times, right, during summers, the better you're going to get at losing weight and then maintaining your results, which is really what our goal is. You lose the weight, burn the fat, then you maintain your results for a lifetime. This is one of those things, right? I want you, when you join the Unstoppable group now, I want you to be able to get to the winter holidays. I'm talking about starting from Halloween through New Year's, which is when traditionally people gain the most amount of weight. During that 10-week period, people gain the most amount of weight. I want you to come into that season feeling armed and ready, that you have the skills you need to not just not gain weight, but to actually lose it purposely if that is what you want. Now, if we really honestly think about what is it that we want for our summers, right? June, July, and August. What is it that we actually want for our weekends, for our special holidays, for date nights and girls' weekends? We don't actually want to have a free-for-all with food. If you really think about it, what we are actually wanting is to really guarantee that we get to have fun and that we get to relax and that we get to connect with people. We get to be in social settings and we get to enjoy our real life experience of weekends and summers and travel while feeling satisfied and also without sabotaging our goals. The clients that come to work with me are clients that don't actually want to have a free-for-all. What they actually want is they want to live their real life, go on trips, go on travel, enjoy their summers, also honor their body goal. They want to be able to have a plan and then actually feel confident that they're going to follow through on what they said. And if you're listening to this podcast, you are likely a high-achieving working mom. Maybe you have some overachieving tendencies, type A perfectionist tendencies, where you are really disciplined when it comes to your work life, when it comes to your kids, your schedule, your time. You're really disciplined and hitting goals. But there's something about weight loss that confounds you, right? You have some idea for how you want to lose weight, but somehow there's some missing pieces that's making it feel like you're not able to have consistent results week after week. And part of it is what we are talking about on today's podcast. It is so fascinating to me and also not very surprising that so many of us have really made fun and weight loss mutually exclusive. It's like we can either have fun and have a total free-for-all and just say yes to all the food and overeat all the things, or we are in the land of deprivation and restriction and we can lose weight only if we count every point in calorie and never, ever, ever get to enjoy treats and fun things. And the reason that this makes sense to me is because you've had decades of diet brain guiding how you eat, guiding the way that you lose weight. I want to break down in this episode exactly how I help my clients in the Unstoppable group burn fat, burn stress, drop drama to lose the weight that they want to lose in a sustainable way. We create a lifestyle that you can take with you on summer trips, on travel around the world. You can take this lifestyle and modify it and tweak it so that it fits into your busy work week when you're having unpredictability. If a real life obstacle, life challenges come your way, you can take what I'm talking about today and you can modify it. This is the other piece. I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but I don't want my clients, I don't want any of you married to a spreadsheet for how you eat. I don't want you married to a little PDF that you got from your nutritionist around what you're allowed to eat, what you're not allowed to eat. That to me is a recipe for disaster. It is going to work for a few weeks, maybe a few months, but when we really get honest about that as a lifestyle for a lifetime, I'm guessing most of us are not planning on eating off of a PDF forever. This is one of those intangible skills that I help my clients learn, is the skill of flexibility. So I'm going to talk to you about in just a minute exactly how I help my clients craft decisions that they plug into their real life that makes them a fat burner, that helps you lose weight no matter where you are in the world, no matter what season of life you are in. Truly, it is game-changing and amazing. And also the added skill of flexibility, knowing that you can trust yourself to make a change in the moment. I recently had a client who was sharing in the Unstoppable group in our written coaching cafe. She was saying, I kind of want to talk through this kind of scenario that I came across. I have made a decision, right? This is one of our decisions we're going to talk about in a minute, to not eat late at night. I've noticed when I eat late at night, my gut feels really full. My belly does not feel good the next morning. So generally speaking, I try not to eat late at night. However, I came across a scenario where it was late in the evening and I felt kind of hungry. And when I looked at, the last 24 hours, I realized I hadn't actually eaten enough nutrition. So my hunger made a lot of sense. And so now I was was left with kind of this decision to make. Should I honor my decision, which is I'm not supposed to eat after whatever time, right? I'm not supposed to eat late at night. Or should I honor my hunger? Should I honor the fact that I didn't really eat enough that day? This is like one of a million questions that you might have, right? You make a decision, you make a plan, and then something comes up for you. Maybe your schedule changes, your routine changes, the grocery is different than what you thought it was going to be. Something changes, and you want to have the skill of self-trust that you know exactly how to make that decision. When you don't have that piece, and this is a skill that is missing from weight loss, for most women, if you lose weight and you gain it back, it is because this one skill is something that needs to be hitting the gym. And I want to help you do that, is to understand that there is usually not one best right answer. So I'm going to tell you the coaching that I gave her, and I'm going to then break down exactly how we create and craft your structure so that you can take it with you on summer trips. And that includes having the skill of flexibility. So I told her there was two choices, right? She could just decide to stick to her decision, which is I'm not going to eat late at night. I've just made that decision. I'm just going to allow this hunger to be there. It's not a problem. When my body's hungry, it just gets to dine in. I have fat stored on my body for this exact reason. It is not an emergency. I'm totally okay. I will eat first thing in the morning. She could totally make that decision. The other decision she could have made was, you know what? I'm actually feeling quite hungry right now. I actually really do want to eat something. It feels like it would be better for my gut, for my body. If I ate something, I'm actually going to not follow the decision that I made because I really want to honor my body's hunger. She could have made that decision. When you make a decision like this, when you are steeping your brain in curiosity and experimental scientist energy, you're going to be completely unattached to how it plays out. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So you can make a decision to honor the plan and stick to not eating late at night, and then you're going to see how you feel. You're going to follow that decision, and like an experiment, you look at how your gut feels that night. You see how your gut feels the next morning. What does the scale show? How did you like that decision? Or alternatively, if you decide, you know what, I'm not going to honor this plan, I'm not going to honor this decision, I'm going to eat something, now we will check in. Let's see how your gut feels. How do you feel the next morning? What does the scale show? When you have a process in place, and I'm going to get into why this is essential for weight loss results to stick. This is piece 3. I'm kind of jumping ahead. I'm like all over the place today, but stick with me, bear with me. You have to have an audit process built into your calendar. So my client can make a decision, and now we get to audit retrospectively, how did it go? How was that decision for her? Now we get to look through, we can see which one worked, which one didn't, why did it work that way? And now she has information. She can take that experiment that she did, and now she can plug it into next time that this comes up. She'll remember, I did an audit on this. This is how it went. This is how I felt. I'm going to choose the same. I'm going to choose differently. When you do this again and again, and I'm telling you, this can happen in less than 5 minutes. You can audit a decision. You can do a little mini experiment. You will start to gain so much self-trust, so much confidence in weight loss and weight maintenance that when you do travel on summers, when you go to your most luxurious trips, when you don't know the menus of restaurants, when you are having your crazy busy work week and you have a wrench thrown into your plan, that feeling of trust and confidence is how you maintain the results. This is the beauty of really understanding that there are certain learnable skills that most people that have not lost weight or been able to keep it off are simply missing. It's because you have not been taught. Most weight loss strategies out there on the internet are not teaching this skill. So I want to break down, because I could keep going on this topic forever and ever. There are 3 pieces that I teach my clients in how to craft your way of eating to make you a fat burner, a stress burner, and how to really lose weight in a way that can last through summer vacations, trips, all of the things, so that you can start making progress. My desire for you, if you're listening to this podcast, is that you want to lose weight now. You don't actually want to be waiting. You actually wanted to lose this weight yesterday, right? So I want you to really think about whatever could be in the way for you to hit your personal body goals, for you to lose the weight you want. Actually ask yourself, what's in the way of me solving that obstacle? So here are the 3 pieces that I kind of guide my clients through. Piece number 1 is having science-informed decisions. I call science-informed decisions in the unstoppable orbit. I call these magic action decisions. And the reason that I call them magic action decisions, they're magical because it's basically taking science-informed decisions that takes 20% of your effort that creates 80% of your results, right? So this is speaking to the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is when you focus on the smallest, most effective needle movers, the smallest, most effective decisions. These are a few decisions that you can make. You don't have to make a million decisions, but when you focus on these specific decisions, there are 7 decisions that I take my clients through. It'll be like a domino effect, right? So when one domino goes down, all the dominoes go down. This is going to save you. When I tell you hours and hours of time in your week, hours and hours of mental energy and bandwidth that you're spending thinking about this problem not being solved, you're going to get back bucket loads of time. One of the things that I really love about this is it is really customized to you. You get to decide how you want to make some of these decisions. I guide you on the 7 categories of decisions that need to be made. I get into this in so much detail with my clients in the group. I actually have a whole video on it in the video curriculum that you can just binge watch the moment that you join. It is amazing. Just in brief, the 7 categories of magic action decisions that I guide my clients through, and I want them to share them with me so we can troubleshoot them and kind of work through them and workshop them together. Number 1 is the mindset. We talked about this in last week's podcast episode, having a success mindset. If you don't have a success mindset, I don't care how good your plan is. You could have the Cadillac of weight loss plans. It's not going to last. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't think you can do it, if you're constantly, it's going to be like half in, half out, half-ass energy. This is when you're going to have half effort. You're going to put partial effort. You're not going to go in all the way on yourself when you're not believing in yourself. So this is, again, something that I guide you how to do. I think it's essential. It's the very first thing. If we don't have this, then we're kind of building our plan and our structure on wobbly foundation, wobbly ground. Step 1 is the mindset. The next piece is actually building in an audit process. Actually having in your calendar exactly when you're going to take those few minutes to look at your week. Kind of like what I was sharing with you about my client who was trying to make this decision about late night eating. Should I eat even though I said I wasn't going to, or should I honor my body's hunger, my natural hunger and satiety cues? Understanding that you are going to have an audit process that is free of judgment, criticism, blame, guilt, or embarrassment is a game changer. This deserves its own podcast episode. I've probably done many on these. But when you have an audit process, or when you're quote unquote like looking at your results through the lens of disdain or discouragement or kind of this critical, self-judgy thought, you are not going to be able to glean any wisdom. Literally zero. And there's no wonder that you will start to monkey emoji with your results. You will monkey emoji on your evaluations. You will stop weighing yourself. You'll be like, you know what? I'll just get to it next season when life is easier. Your brain will come up with a very convenient, convincing, and compelling story that right now is just too busy. You know what? It's just been too much for you. If this sounds familiar, I'm just telling you, it's because I've coached clients on this for hundreds of hours, women in every single industry, and there are common themes and patterns. Most of my clients that come to work with me, I can probably say 100% of my clients that have come to work with me do not have a routine, objective, curious, I'm talking about, it's amazing when you do this audit process in place. The first one was mindset. The second one is audit. Now the third one is getting into nutrition, and hydration is another piece of this. Actually having a nutrition strategy. And this doesn't mean you have to cut out and say no to everything, but it's actually having nutrition science on your side. So you recalibrate fat burning hormones. You are getting enough nutrition to support your muscle, to support your metabolism. There's a science to this. We don't have to wing it or be random. We don't just have to eat less and move more. I mean, if that worked, it would have worked. There is an actual science to supporting your hormone pathways, your muscle building pathways, and fat loss, where you actually feel satisfied without overeating the crap. So what I'm finding time and time again, and this is from talking with many of you, this is from, again, my own work, and again, what I see with my clients, we are often under-eating, seriously, under-eating. We want to lose weight, but many of us are under-eating enough high quality nutrition in the right categories of foods. We are not eating enough of certain foods to support hormone pathways, muscle growth, and fat loss. And we are overeating the crap food, right? The stuff that the modern industrialized food industry has crafted into the perfect bite to make you addicted to flour and sugar and highly processed foods. Like, we're just overeating those things. What happens when you flip this over on its head, when you start to give your body enough high quality nutrition, you'll be mind blown how your craving for the crap starts to go down. You need to have a strategy on how to do this. So again, this is step 3. I can go on and on this topic again, but let's just kind of stick to this podcast episode. 3 is nutrition. And of course, 4 is hydration, really making sure that your body is getting enough water. I am so guilty of not drinking enough water. It is something that I have been working on forever, but really getting enough water is going to be a fat burning strategy. The next one is play and fun. This is really hard for high achievers, overachievers, people that are a little addicted to productivity. I'm raising my hand in that category. If you do not have a strategy, play, fun, and rest, your brain is going to steal it. That is the simplest way for me to put it. If you don't have this built in, this is a magic action decision, friends. A magic action decision is actually building into the planning of your calendar, play, fun, and rest, and it is a non-negotiable. I can go on this topic again and again, but when you don't have a rested brain, when your brain is not getting rest and pleasure, like true joy without food and alcohol, you will steal it. This is why on Friday night, if you have not been planning, if you've been overworking, constantly ruminating and thinking about your work, this is why burning stress is an essential part of the weight loss process. If you're constantly thinking about work and stress and this and that, your brain at some point along the way, over summer break, over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right, huge chunks of the year, it's going to be like, we deserve a break. And it's going to steal it in the form of chips and cookies. It's just going to meander over into the pantry. It's just going to start overeating in licks, bites, and nibbles. And this is the part that I think is the hardest for my clients to wrap their minds around. They're like, wait, you want me to have a plan for play, fun, and rest? And I'm like, yes, my friends. Yes, this is going to be built into your plan. It's a part of your fat burning plan, because if you don't have it, you will steal it. And this is what sabotages so many weight loss results. The next one is actually having a sleep strategy, because sleep is a very underrated fat burning strategy that I can get on and on into, but it is so important to have. And of course, the last one is movement. I really take my clients through a process for deciding whether they want to exercise, if they don't want to exercise, if they want to start exercising. It doesn't matter where you are in your exercise journey. We craft a custom process going through these 7 categories in a way that truly fits your life. This podcast episode has no notes. We're just going. I'm telling you all of it. We have to take this first piece, these 7 categories of decisions, and then you have to plug it into piece 2. This is, again, one where I find so many high achievers, and me too, were missing the mark. So you might make a decision, I'm going to eat, fill in the blank. I'm going to eat quote unquote healthy, but then you don't actually put it into the structure of your week. So piece 2 is actually taking your decisions, so 7 layers of decisions, and plugging it into the structure of your week, into your real life, onto your calendar. This is, again, one of those things where having accountability with a coach, where I can show you your blind spots, I can show you what's been missing in your strategy. Is it one of the 7 decisions? Is it part of your structure? Like, I really help my clients hone in on the parts of their weight loss strategy that's been missing, that helps them really guide how to make powerful tweaks moving forward. And then we take all of this to piece 3, which is putting on the calendar how and when you're going to be doing a retrospective audit. I have my clients do 2 different kinds of audits. We do a weekly audit every single week in the Unstoppable Coaching Cafe. It's a written coaching cafe. It's almost like texting back and forth, where you get my eyes on your audit, on your work, and I give you real detailed feedback. And then I have my clients do a monthly retrospective, which is a zoomed out approach. It's a form that you fill out. It takes 10 minutes, but it really helps me coach you powerfully. And I think ultimately that's my biggest takeaway. What I have found, and this was missing from my weight loss strategy for so many years, is I thought that I should be able to just do it by myself. I'm a smart person. I'm hitting goals in other areas of my life. I know what to do in my head, but somehow I'm just missing the mark. It's because being smart enough is not the solution here. If it was, we would all have already lost the weight yesterday, right? There is really so much that we have to untangle and unlearn to lose the weight we want. And I think that this episode, the intention of this episode, was really to touch on allowing yourself to plant the possibility that you can lose weight over this summer. It doesn't matter where you're traveling or what's happening for you. You can lose weight this summer and have fun. And if you did that, if you decided to learn that skill now, you would be down 10 pounds by the fall. You wouldn't have to undo summer weight gain. You wouldn't have to undo or feel any regret about your time this summer. You would get to really practice feeling connected in every social setting, be present with your children, which I think, that's my most favorite part. You get to teach your kids how to have fun without relying on food. And best yet, you feel better in your gut starting now. I'm inviting all of you. The Unstoppable Group's July cohort is about to close for enrollment, and I strongly encourage you to book your consult call with me to talk about whether it's a good fit for you. This is 6 months of intimate and really deep dive coaching on stress and weight loss. We burn fat, burn stress, you drop drama, and you do it with a coach, me, who has experienced every obstacle. I have coached women in every industry, so I have seen it all. I think that having the accountability of a group where you have invested seriously, that really is signaling to your brain that this matters to you, that this is something you want to do, is what is going to turn the tide. And I know that it's scary sometimes to invest seriously in yourself. I totally get it. And also, I think that that's always the case. It's normal to always have pause, feel a little nervous before you invest seriously in yourself. And also, I think you're here because you're ready. So if this is something that you want, I strongly encourage you to head over to the unstoppablemombrain.com theunstoppablemombrain.com/connect so that you can grab your time to talk with me. And if you don't see a time on the consult calendar, then send me an email at info@theunstoppablemombrain.com and we will find a time to talk. We have coaching calls every week live on Zoom on Wednesdays. And then in between our live coaching calls, you have in real-time coaching, personal mentorship with me in our written coaching cafe. You can get the whole sneak peek, all the nuts and bolts about the group if you want a bigger deep dive on how the group works over at theunstoppablemombrain.com/group. And if you have any questions, send me an email or send me a DM over on Instagram. I'm the Unstoppable Mom Brain over on Instagram. I hope you guys all have an amazing, amazing day. I hope that this episode is planting the possibility for you that it is possible to enjoy summer, your weekends, your holidays, but you have to change your mindset to really understand when you have strategy in place, your brain is going to get the direction that she has been craving, and you're going to start hitting goals so much faster. I can't wait to see you on a consult call and in the group. Bye, friends. I really hope that you loved today's podcast episode on how to let go of summer weight loss dread, how to let go of dread around weight loss, how to enjoy your summer. Seriously, my friends, I really want you to imagine that it was possible to enjoy your summer also. Two things can be true at the same time, that you can also achieve your goals this summer. You don't have to start from scratch in the fall. You don't have to undo your wins. Just imagine what the impact of that will be like, how you'll feel when you are getting back into the fall routine and you're already ahead. I love that. I would love that for you. And again, if you know that this is work that you want to do, I strongly encourage you to grab one of these spots inside the Unstoppable group or starting this week. It's not too late for you to grab a spot. Head over to burnstressloseweight.com/group. And I hope to see you on a call. And if not, I will see you on the podcast next week. Bye.